Welcome to Game Set Bet. We are back. I am joined with my lovely co-host Crina Mustafa, and it feels like just yesterday we were covering Roland Garros, and now we're back to Wimbledon.
It's been such a fast turnaround
Yeah.
from Roland Garros to now.
Imagine actually playing the sport.
I know. Exactly.
Let's jump right into it. We have to talk about the biggest, I think, storyline is the ranking system and what's going to happen this year with the players at Wimbledon. We were talking about this earlier, but how do you feel about this entire situation?
It's just really a lose-lose scenario here. Obviously, like Wimbledon came into this banning both the Russian and the Belarusian players, and as a result, the ATP and WTA were like, okay, well, if you're going to do that, then there's going to be no ranking points. But the problem with that is that all the points that players won last year, they're going to lose them this year. So like Denis Shapovalov, for example, who made the semifinals last year, he's going to lose all those points that he gained to make that such deep run. And even if he reaches the semifinals again, it's not going to matter because he's not going to win any points. So it's just, a bunch of players are going to really suffer from this. But at the end of the day, like none of them changed anything about it. So it is what it is.
Yeah, you kind of wonder like what they have to play for, because a lot of players go into these Grand Slam tournaments knowing that they're not going to win. But of course they can pick up, like bring their rankings up more. And now without that, you have to wonder if like mentally it's going to kind of affect them a little bit knowing that they're not going to bring themselves up at all.
Yeah, I guess the money is still there. So the paycheck is still coming in. So I guess that's what they're playing for at this point.
That's what we're all playing for at this point. But let's dive into the games that we have tomorrow. We'll start off with ATP. And there's some big matches.
Yes, there is. It was really hard to kind of sift through them and pick which matches I wanted to kind of preview. But the first one, we'll go with the teenager Holger Rune against the French Giron. I think Holger Rune's had a pretty solid run this year. He made the quarterfinals at Roland Garros. He beat Tsitsipas, which is probably one of the most impressive wins of his career. And so he has a chance to make a run here on grass. I think he's still kind of fresh. He's 19 years old, so I don't think he's tired of anytime soon. But yeah, I think he'll take this one pretty easily. He is favored at plus 112, but I think, it might go the distance because he's playing a pretty good opponent. So if you want to take him to win in 5 sets, then that's a pretty good value bet at plus 500.
And also we have to talk about who else but my favorite, Rafa. So coming out of a victory, Roland Garros won on clay at his age. It's absolutely fantastic. And he's taking on the Argentine Cerundolo. Now, unfortunately for him, I just think that this match is a little too one-sided. You have the veteran. You have, Rafa coming out of winning the French Open, which for him is everything. So I do think this match will be pretty standard win for Rafa. So we were trying to look for some value because him to win it's a little too easy. So we have Rafa to win and also first set under 8.5 at plus 105. So I think that makes it a little bit more interesting, and it's like at least gives you some value for this match.
Yeah, it took some digging to find a plus bet value because I think he's favored at like plus 4,000 on FanDuel. So you got to work a little bit, but you'll find a good bet for this Rafa match for sure. Yeah. And then also our Canadian Felix Auger-Aliassime is taking on Cressy. Felix is probably my favorite as a dark horse at Wimbledon. I think he's probably one of the only players that could overcome Novak Djokovic. He came really close to beating Rafa on clay. I think he was the one who gave Rafa the most trouble. And so with his form this year, his big serve works really, really good on grass. And so I think that's his chance to make a deeper run than he did last year when he made the quarterfinals.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. And finally, our last Canadian of the men's side anyways is Chapo, who neither you or I trust very much at this point.
No. He hasn't really had any consistent results this grass season so far. Like at the warm-up tournaments, he's kind of had some rough losses. But I think, I think you might agree with me here that he should be able to take this one easily. I know we don't trust him, but what's your bet here?
Well, he's taking on Rinderknecht, I think he's a better player overall than him. So I think we can see Chapo get out of this in 3 sets. What happens after this match is really the question that I think it will get tougher and tougher to bet on Chapo. But in this one, I think we can see that, and you can take him in 3 sets at plus 110.
Yeah, and moving over to the women's tennis side.
Lots to talk about.
Yeah, it wouldn't be the WTA without me talking about the Romanians and specifically Simona Halep, who is going to face Caroline Muchova in the first round. This is a very tough first round matchup. I will admit that. As confident as I am in Halep to kind of make a deep run here at Wimbledon, I will admit that this is a very tough first round, which is why I think she should be good to win in 3 sets. I think it will go the distance, and you can get that at plus 280. I just think she was supposed to face Bianca Andreescu in the semifinals at Bad Homburg, but she pulled out before the match with a blocked neck. Hopefully, I think that should be okay. That's just kind of thing where you wake up and you're like, okay, I need to kind of fix this with the chiropractor, and so hopefully it's nothing too serious. But she's been playing really well on grass. I've been cautiously optimistic. I think she's been serving really well. The grass really fits her game. And then there's a lot of Romanians in action, but I could only choose 2. So there's another one, and this one might be the hardest matchup out of all the Romanians. Is Gabrielle Rousset is playing against Coco Gauff, and Coco Gauff is one of the favorites to win Wimbledon. So I think this one's going to be a pretty quick one. Coco's probably going to win in straight sets, but I'm excited to see what the teenager does as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I think Coco just has this one in the bag. She did great at Roland Garros, and I think just because Iga is almost too favored for everyone at this point, but Coco really has been doing so well this season. But you brought up a familiar name that we all know, and Bianca Andreescu. Is she back? We've kind of seen this lull with Bianca, picking up injuries, not really being consistent, but she just came out of Bad Homburg going to the final, and although she lost, and, she was meant to play Halep, and there was a walkover, she beat Trevisan, who's did great at Roland Garros, and also Kasatkina. Both top players, and Bianca, went the distance. And I'm really excited for her coming into Wimbledon knowing this. So she's going to be taking on Bektes, the American, and I actually have Bianca to win this and win over 12.5 games at plus 200. I'm really confident in Bianca in this match, and I'm feeling better about her now, seeing how her, off season kind of was in between the Grand Slams and her doing so well. Yeah. But finally, and this might be the biggest story, is Serena Williams is back, and I can't I feel like I can feel the smile on my face. It wouldn't be Wimbledon without Serena Williams, and we haven't seen her actually since last Wimbledon. She is much older. Of course, you're going to have injuries. You're going to, run into these things. It's natural, but I can't tell you how excited I am to see her. And even though, the hopes of her winning would be, an amazing storyline, just for her to compete, it's amazing.
Yeah, we saw her in doubles action with Ons Jabeur earlier this week, and I think that got me really excited. I wasn't sure how I was going to feel with her back on the court, but I was actually feeling pretty nostalgic, and it's really nice to see her back, especially on singles too. And I know you got a big bet for this one.
Yeah, so this is actually our best bet of the day, and I feel really confident in this. So Serena's taking on the French national Harmony Tan. So take Serena to win this game, and under 20.5 games at plus 125. I think we'll see. I mean, Serena could win this in 2 sets, and I think it could be a 6-1, 6-2 overall. So I think this is a really safe bet, and I think we will see it happen.
Yeah, I'm very excited for her to return to the court on singles action.
Yeah, me as well. Well, that is what we have for you guys today. We will be back every day covering Wimbledon, so make sure to check us out at theparlay.com.